A few years ago, I was looking on AliExpress for vendors there selling Sega MegaDrive or Genesis Repro games, as I am someone that was looking at rebuilding my Sega MegaDrive collection. I thought it would be a good idea to buy a few games off of there and see how good they really were. When the games arrived, I was very disappointed with what I got. The game cases were nothing like the original Sega cases. For a lack of a better word, they were crap. The cover art was printed on thick photo paper which didn't look right, and the reproduction cartridges were very disappointing. Thus, my dream to get my MegaDrive collection back on a budget was over. During this time, I would have better luck buying Super Nintendo Repros on AliExpress. Then, on October 14, 2023, I found a seller on AliExpress that was selling MegaDrive games. So, after reading the description and reading reviews, I purchased Shining in the Darkness. Then I waited for the game to arrive in the mail. After having a bad experience with Sega Repros a few years earlier, I wasn't that hopeful or excited when the game arrived, but upon unboxing it and seeing the game inside, it was like one of those oh my god moments. I couldn't believe just how amazing the game looked. The game case was almost exactly like the original Sega MegaDrive cases. The cover art was a very good print quality. And the Repro PCB was the best I've ever purchased. So that's why in this video I want to share with you some of the vendors I buy from on AliExpress and also some of the not so good vendors to avoid. First up, we have Fantasy World Classic Game Store. So far I have purchased 43 MegaDrive or Genesis games off of them. By far my favorite vendor. Please note that for all these Repro games will not work on clone consoles, so you've been warned. Fantasy World Classic Game Store have very professional and high quality reproduction games. Cover art has high quality printing and almost properly aligned. I can tell they get most of their cover art from the Cover Project website. The game case is textured as originals but can be a little bit difficult to open at first. The PCB looks very high quality as well. The cartridge is also of a high quality with the Sega logo on the back of it. Some of their games do sell with manuals, but at a higher price. Although the manuals are a good quality printing, you can see it is a reproduction because it looks a little bit blurry. Also, the black and white photos inside don't look that great, as I am guessing they used a low resolution source. Next up, we have Stardust Gamehouse Store. I came across them by chance because Fantasy World Classic Game Store had taken everything off their site, and I'm freaking out because I thought they had gone. But after emailing them, they told me they were resetting everything and that I should head over to their other website on AliExpress if I wanted to buy more games. So I did that, and to my surprise, it had some games on there that they didn't have on Fantasy World Classic Game Store. I ended up buying 6 games from there. Again, the quality is amazing. Cover art is a high print quality. Same game cases that are difficult to open. I really wish someone would fix that. High quality cartridges and identical PCBs on standard games, except for Beyond Oasis, which had a totally different PCB with capacitor and resistor with a battery. Pricing and postage are about the same as Fantasy World Classic Game Store, and shipping time to Australia is about 10 days. I hear their Super Nintendo Repros are very good too, so I may have to buy a few from them soon. Recently I came across Happy Life International Trade Company. They have Sega MegaDrive games on their site that I really wanted, so I purchased Castle of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, after reading the description, and when Castle of Illusion arrived in the mail. I was a little puzzled with the MegaDrive box. Although the case is not textured as original MegaDrive cases, it is high quality with a smooth matte finish, way better than those cheap, generic transparent plastic boxes from other sellers. And I actually kind of like this matte finish on the MegaDrive game case. Yet again, the quality is great. Cover art is a high quality print. The game cases are still difficult to open. High quality cartridges and identical PCBs. I then order Sunsoft's Batman the video game, Aladdin and Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. The Hyper Stone Heist. The game cases this time were textured as original Sega MegaDrive cases and not the matte finish like Castle of Illusion. There was one major problem this time, and that was with the cover art for the MegaDrive version of Aladdin. It doesn't look great. It looks kind of pixelated, while the other two games' cover art looked fine. So I'm thinking, what the hell's gone wrong here? Then I thought to look at the cover project website to compare the cover art, and it turns out to be the same low quality scan. So, I'm not blaming Happy Life International Trade Company for that. And that's one thing you have to take into consideration when buying Repros. Where is the source material coming from? So what I did was downloaded a custom cover art of the Genesis version of Aladdin from the cover project and printed that out myself, solving that problem. I have been really lucky as all the Repro games I have purchased are all in working order. The only problem I had was when ordering Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, I received not just one copy of that game, but 6 copies. The vendor was quick to make amends for that, and I didn't have to send back 5 copies of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. One thing I almost forgot to talk about is the game labels on the cartridges. Most of the time they are really good, but I have noticed with From Fantasy World classic games, the stickers at the top of the cartridge won't always stick down properly, and sometimes the labels can be a little stretched with the image, which could be fixed up before printing it out. Sometimes the red Genesis covers are oversaturated, but this has only happened to me once with Shinobi 3 Return of the Ninja Master. But considering you're only paying $15, it's not a game breaker for me. Remember at the start of this video I said that I wanted to share with you some of the vendors I buy from on AliExpress, and also some of the not so good vendors to avoid. Well, I'm going to leave the vendors to avoid for a whole other video, as this one's gone on long enough, and it will give me more time to check out some other vendors on AliExpress that I want to buy from. Hopefully I'll have that video up soon. Just remember when buying Repros games to check the reviews and make up your own mind if you want to get Repros games, and use this video only as a guide, for what I like and you like could be completely the opposite. Also a massive shout out to Hector Pryor for inspiring me to make this video. As I watched his AliExpress SNES Repro games review over on YouTube, I'll leave a link below to that video. Until next time guys, take care.